Are you going to intro us? How do we start?
Just how you are. So
Beth is like, I need some sort of prompting.
very well. Hello everyone. This is Conversations with Friends. I am here with a group of friends, starting from my left. We have Kopczyk, Jocelyn, Alcala, Eberwein, and Dulce, Aguirre.
I forgot my last name.
No, I remembered Aguirre at the same time that I said
Aguirre.
This is the second podcast
Laggy.
I've been on.
Beth is going to be famous.
Beth is going to be a famous
Beth is
podcaster.
famous.
She is.
I hope so.
Beth
Everybody-
already is. Beth is very famous.
Especially in the diocese.
Among the 10 people that we know.
Within the circles.
11.
Okay.
So how was everyone's day?
It's good. We've been really busy doing school stuff.
Yep.
And this lunch was very delicious.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, the lunch was very needed.
Mm-hmm.
Needed a break.
I just feel like I get to Thursday and I'm like running on fumes where I'm just like, what's an end at this point?
I'm actually going to be here again tomorrow.
Oh.
So I'll be working 5 days this week.
Interesting.
I work 5 days every week. I work from home on Friday. But yeah, tomorrow we have a focus facilitator training, which is the focus inventory, which our couples take like as part of their marriage prep process.
Can you take that just as like a single person? Can you like inventory yourself?
I don't think it'd work, but you could probably do like
Can you do it with friends? Like, okay, like we have these things going for us, or these are the areas that we need to work in.
Good question. I'll find out tomorrow and I'll update you all on Monday.
Then we should do another podcast where we as a group take this inventory.
I don't know if it works that way.
So we can't modify it. We can't modify it to look that way.
Oh.
I would just love to, like, given our differences in, like, especially just, like, our last conversation about the temperaments, how, like, we would do on an inventory like that. Like, how would we do with conflict management? It is very confrontational.
How would we work
I guess-
as teams?
How would we submit a complaint to Uber?
Okay, wait. So now we have to give the background story for all listening.
I'm not. I'm eating.
Dulce's like, William
lost time yesterday.
William already took out too much of Dulce's eating time yesterday.
So for everyone listening, William was yesterday's Uber Eats driver.
He had dreadlocks, but was clean.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna listen to this conversation.
You better, William. Listen. Dulce is very bitter that William took way too long to give her her food. But I'm angry. She's angry. Bitter past bitterness.
Okay, so to all of those who did not hear our conversation yesterday, we went through each of us and figured out how we would respond in his review post.
For Google reviews.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
This is Katie, would create an entire website devoted to hating William and to tearing up his existence. I would link it in the Google comment section. There would be music. Rage music and memes.
Yesterday we only talked about memes, and that's music too.
Yes.
There was music. I remember that.
There is a soundtrack to the hate website.
Yep. And then we decided, Fernando, that you would be the one to post. Actually, you can't really do that. Review.
You would disagree. I feel like his review would contradict all of our reviews.
Yes.
It'd be very reasonable.
It would not have anything to do with It wouldn't have anything to do with William. It would just argue against all of our reviews.
Comments, yeah.
Instead of the owner responding to Dulce's complaint against William, it would be Fernando.
I'm not even sure if Dulce had a complaint. Did you?
You guys didn't let me talk, and I was eating.
So you didn't want to opt. Like, I would ask.
Yeah.
Because I had to eat. Because it's late and my taco's cold.
She was very upset. Oh, and then Jocelyn would have a GoFundMe for William and William's family. Because it's clear that William is having a hard time.
Exactly. You never know what his background is. I was like, maybe William had a really stressful day. Before we can get to Jocelyn's complaint, we need to tell them about what William did. He got here late. It said he'd arrive at 12:30. Then it said 12:30, and then it said 12:38, and then it said 12:36, and then he finally arrived like at 12:40. And then he gave me the wrong bag when he was here. Apparently, I was Natalie, and
Clearly,
and then he didn't
not a
respond
Natalie.
fast enough. He
was a little slow on the uptake.
So anyway, Jocelyn. Yeah, and so I was trying to justify these mistakes. I was like, maybe at the last, or in my head now, maybe at the last stop there was someone screaming at him for no reason. And
clearly there was a reason.
Very possible. Maybe that stop frazzled him, and so then it was just downhill forever.
We need to get whoever was screaming at him and add them to my website.
The cause of it all.
Where we just completely conjecture what William is and who he is. There would be an entire website of ad hominem arguments against William.
Right. And then William would actually respond and be like, I just am horrible at my job. I stopped trying to justify my actions.
I'm
Who knows?
surprised you all kept thinking about this. Because this is more in depth than what we went into yesterday.
No. Same thing. I personally have thought to this.
Jocelyn will pray for William until she dies. And then probably after.
What a great game.
Yeah. William is going to get into heaven because Jocelyn prays him.
Only because Jocelyn.
Actually, Jocelyn will probably get into heaven.
Ooh. Oh, well, and we haven't even talked about Beth's.
Beth, which I think was honestly the best.
It was so normal.
So I was the one who brought up the idea that I would write the review because I was thinking we should write it very clean and just the facts, exactly what happened. He did show up late, so, I mean, it's fair to write a review saying that so that other people know he did show up late and he gave her the wrong bag. And there you go. You have it. It doesn't have to be like,
how did he not know that my name was not Natalie? It's obvious.
Well, that wouldn't be part of my review, but
There's more to work on here.
But yeah. So there was the voice of reason in all of this, which was
except for the fact that Fernando would find some sort of flaw in Beth's argument and comment on her Google review.
I don't know about that.
See, I still don't know how it came to be that I was the de facto contrarian in all of this.
That's just who you are. In all of our lunchtime conversations, you never agree with us.
That isn't true.
He's agreed with me.
Disagreeing.
You know, we've actually counted the number of times.
Twice.
No, it was 3 times now.
See, he is arguing against everything.
But even with the 2 times, that was enough to prove my point. I don't always disagree with you all.
Most of the time.
Very well, I'll take it.
Okay, wow. See, every time he agrees, we celebrate because it never happens.
Time for tacos. No, Dulce is still very much traumatized from the taco incident yesterday.
Single night.
True.
No.
Point. Nothing but fair point.
Good.
William's probably celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Now you got to celebrate in spite
I
of.
forgot to wear my Mexican dress.
Oh.
From when I visited Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
What?
What part of Mexico?
Mexico City.
Oh. Did you go to Our Lady of Guadalupe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forgot to wear my dress, and I haven't eaten Mexican yet. And Dulce informed me yesterday that we're the only ones who actually eat Mexican on Cinco de Mayo or celebrate.
Yeah, we were talking with Mary about that. So she was like, "Are we doing anything for Cinco de Mayo?" And I was like, We don't. And then actually was like, it's funny because Mexican or people in Mexico don't actually celebrate that. It's only American.
I'd like to note that I'm from Pennsylvania and we've hardcore celebrated Cinco de Mayo by going to the Mexican restaurants that aren't actually Mexican.
Wow.
That's awesome. She was in Wisconsin and she's like, we go all out. And I was like, all right.
It's not a regular day for us. I'm Mexican. I am too.
Am I?
I think I think as Americans we should start celebrating, like, I think that would be the equivalent of like Mexico being like, yes, we celebrate Gettysburg. Like the Gettysburg Address, yeah. And then they just eat burgers and drink, American beer.
That sounds like fun. I think we should say this. Let's go visit Mexico.
We should just find the most random battle in American history. Like, the most random. Like, I'm pretty sure there was an ostrich battle at one point. What? The ostrich one. We should have an ostrich festival for it.
We do have an ostrich festival.
I know, but in celebration, and it should become a national holiday in Mexico. Eat American food and drink American beer.
That is quite an undertaking.
We're very culturally proud here.
We made Cinco de Mayo into a big party, and it was nothing for you guys. So clearly,
Not nothing. I think what happens is Americans think Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day when it's not.
Because isn't that in like November?
It's in September.
September
15th and 16th.
Ah.
I find it funny because like I've come to people and they've like asked like, so like this is your Independence Day. I'm like, no,
Nope.
not in the slightest.
Oh, so what is it?
This is like the equivalent of the Alamo.
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, it's the commemoration of the day in which Mexico, being the far smaller, far less superior army, beat out the far superior French army.
Not even the Spanish.
No.
The French.
But, like, with due reason. Like, the French...
They were in power at that point.
Yes. And they wanted to impose, like, an emperor and everything. And,
Boo. Why do we celebrate that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm thinking 1812. I think we should celebrate 1812. That should be our equivalent to Cinco de Mayo.
The year 1812?
Yes. When the British tried to reinvade us.
I forgot about that.
Tried being the operative word. Because I feel like that's the equivalent of, like, where our, like, Americans that were just not, they had, like, hyperinflation, they were having a bad time, there was the whiskey revolution going on, like, Washington was having a hard time, Adams was having a hard time, but yet they still beat off the British again. But is it as big of a deal as 1776?
Yeah.
Therefore, this will be our New Mexican holiday, 1812.
Wait, how? But that's still an American, like, battle.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, is Cinco de Mayo was a Mexican battle, but it's celebrated in America. Therefore, we need to have an American battle celebrated predominantly in Mexico.
Okay. I think I just caught on to that.
I think that this will dramatically help our countries work together. It should be like on May 4th or something.
It's
Just to like
the
keep it.
Kentucky Derby. It only lasts for 4 minutes or something, and people celebrate that. That's happening this weekend, by the way.
This guy that I'm talking to on Catholic Match, he was like talking about it, that they have Kentucky Derby parties.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was like,
I'm
is
going
this
to
your
one, but it's just because we get to wear dresses and hats. But it's in here, and
I honestly think that's why they have them in Kentucky. I would be hard pressed to believe that like so many people are into the Kentucky Derby because of the actual races.
Speak for yourself, Fernando. I am an avid horse racer.
I said most people.
Also, they love the opportunity to bet on things.
Okay, not necessarily the racing.
They bet on the races. They're like, that horse looks speedy.
If I ever go to a horse race, I will use that language so that they know that I belong.
Don't they just show you their names, though? They don't even show you the horses themselves.
How are you supposed to make a logical decision on which one is speedy if you can't look at it?
Precisely.
That's dumb!
It's gambling.
I think you could probably look them up. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
History.
Oh, probably.
I just know that they look all sorts into their lines and their lineage, and it's like, how, like, okay, if you were looking at my 23andMe, it would tell you that I should be much taller than I am.
Interesting.
I am short.
No, they're the
I was supposed to be a lot taller according to 23. So I feel like with horses, it's the same thing. Like, you could look at a horse's genealogy and be like, wow, that one is supposed to be speedy. And then you look at it, and it's like a clump horse. It's like Tron. Have you guys ever seen midgets versus camels?
No.
I think it's, I want to say it's in like Qatar, but they have midget racing and they race against the camel. It's a real video, I promise.
But this sounds cruel.
I mean, no one ever accused Qatar of being a very, like, humane state.
I wonder how that went. Did the midgets win?
I think no. The camel won.
That makes sense. Are pretty quick.
But the camels, like, clomp around and, like, they're so gimpy.
That's true. I don't know how you came across this. Are you looking it up, Dulce?
I'm watching it. Speaking of videos, Dulce sent me a really funny one yesterday.
What was it?
Explain. No, just end the sentence there.
So she knows that I'm doing currently the online dating thing, and I've been making a ruckus of it. But she sent me this video of this woman. Basically, her friend gets kidnapped, right? And Dulce sent me this video of this friend being like, listen.
It's her sister, actually.
Oh, her sister is like, listen, I told her what to do. I told her, like, you need to look him up in the database, and you didn't. So why am I out here looking for you?
Because we could have looked up, like, if he had, like, some sort of criminal history, and we could have known if he stole candy or women. And now apparently we know that he steals women. But
So why am I out here looking for her when she was dumb?
yeah. If you want to look that up on TikTok, good luck.
I'm gonna play it. I don't know if this will even come through your speaker, but
Yeah, well,
It's beautiful.
Poet. Is it? Wait, is it copyright?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Devastated. She should have listened though. I told her when she came and said that she met the dude on the app, I told her, I said, sis, go on the public data check website. All you need is his name, his state, his phone number. She could have looked at his criminal history. Do he steal candy bars or do he steal women? Now we know what he do. His travel records, his financial records. Can he pay for your gas or is he gonna ask you for $5? She didn't listen. Now y'all having a search party. I don't want to look for it because she should have listened.
And the PG for that is like woman goes missing. The sister speaks dating app disappearance.
Oh, that's so sad.
And her sister's like, I'm not looking for her.
Good listen.
You know what? It's so true though. My sister is amazing when it comes to this stuff. I give her a first name and a college, and she is able to find their tax records. She is able to. Oh my gosh, she is like insane.
has she thought about becoming like a detective?
Absolutely not. This is purely for stalking purposes on
Entertainment.
Exactly. There will be no.
Not even a PI.
Nope. She's
think
gonna
she
be
would
a
hate-
missionary for focus.
PI.
Private investigator.
Oh. Personal investigator.
Personal investor. You give them stuff, they invest it.
Oh, I was thinking of something completely different. I was just like, yes, someone that invests in me.
Oh my god, personal investor. I think that the term for that is spouse, but okay.
Good point. So, have you experienced any of these weird people?
Yes, I had one man who was a LARPer, so all of his pictures were him in full armor.
What's LARPer?
Live action role playing.
Oh,
He is a literal knight in shining armor, not a metaphorical one.
Oh my gosh.
I've also had a man offer a goat, and I responded, "Thank you, sir, but I'm worth a full cow."
Did he really offer you a goat?
Yes, in exchange for my hand in marriage.
Are you serious?
I don't think he was being serious, but then I responded because I know my worth, and I'm like, I am cat. If you're going to be trading livestock, like, I want something with girth.
Wow, that's a good one though.
I also, yesterday, there was a man that he said hola, and then I responded in full Spanish, and then he responded in English, and I'm like, listen, you're fake.
Did you have a Hispanic last name?
Yes, well, he looked Hispanic. There's no last names on Catholic Match. It's just the first name.
Wait, what did you say?
Have a Hispanic person?
What if you fall in love with the person and then you don't know their last name and then it's an awful last name? Like, what are you gonna do?
Pretty sure you find out the last name before he has the first name.
I would hope that at some point there's some sort of asking that.
Who knows? This day and age, you can fall in love with somebody without even knowing.
I mean, clearly, this woman in the video, she fell in love with this guy and didn't know if he would give her $5.
I wonder if it was real love or was it cultural?
Probably.
know they were in love. It was like the first date.
It literally probably was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
She was like, yes. And then he's driving. And this is why you never let a man pick you up for the first date. So you need to know if he's still standing for women.
Now we know what to do.
Another online dating tips?
I would say definitely ask them about their mullet and why their brother has a mullet but they don't. And then you have to question, especially if they're military, you have to start questioning their patriotism. It's a great way to get to a man's heart, is to call him un-American. For not growing a mullet. Clearly, this was the beginning of a great love story, and he ghosted me. Boo! Also, if you're talking to a Brit and you're an American, you have to bring up Meghan and Harry and the American Revolution and how we won. If you're talking to an Australian, you just begin by saying, how do you like Americans?
How did that go for you?
We talked quite a bit. And then we started getting into, Australian rule of law. It was very interesting. Also, he ghosted me.
Interesting.
Is that the thing to do?
Okay, that's the thing. I never ghost. If I'm talking to a guy and I'm like, listen, this isn't working out, I say, listen, I'm not interested. You seem lovely. Good luck to you. But listen, I will be wearing pants. I'm sorry. Because that's the other thing is some of these men, especially the rad trads, they're like, I want my woman to wear prairie skirts and nothing but skirts. And I want her to stay home and be barefoot and pregnant. And I'm like, listen, I would gladly do that so long as you have a job that provides that. Also, there needs to be a ring on the finger and a baby in the belly for me to quit my job. Thank you. Good day. I also will continue wearing pants until I die.
Well, with that, thank you.
We have so much more to discuss. I want to know what Beth would do I want to know what she would do on a Catholic dating profile. Because it would be the exact opposite of mine and it would be hilarious to compare and contrast.
Okay, well,
Go ahead.
I haven't tried the online dating thing, but I was kind of forced into it. And all these people were messaging me and I got overwhelmed. And then my mom eventually said, Beth, you don't have to respond to all of them. I was like, oh, my goodness. And so then I haven't approached the topic again. But yeah, I think that, we've talked about it before. I'd like to, as quickly as possible, go from the messaging to either in person or on the phone because you can people can be fake on messaging. So
that's so true. And also you're not signing up for pen pals.
Right. Yeah.
Some of these people, they just want a pen pal and it's like, nah, bro. I got things to do.
An online dating site that was just for pen pals if they wanted to.
We could.
They're nice.
That would be weird.
With that, conversation. Thank you, ladies. And
should we do a part 2?
Sure.
Yeah.
We should do a part 2.
I would love that.
Part 5. Just our lunchtime.
Podcast.
It'll just be a new podcast called With Friends.
And with that, goodbye.